Hello, my beautiful patrons at the $5 level or higher. I'm about to record another episode of Fix My Carcast, and it's one that's going to be really improv heavy. I've got a goal in this one, and the reason there's all this blank space on this side of the screen is because we're going to be tallying my score as I do this one. I'm sure from the thumbnail you figured it out. Well, let me just tell you. I have to incorporate the titles of 50 movies into this episode, and when I do so, intentionally or not, I may say some that in the edit I realize later are movie titles that I just wasn't intentionally saying. You'll see the poster show up over here. That's the plan for this one. So I hope you enjoy. I hope I make it. I've got pen and paper to do my own tally marks to make sure that I get at least 50 movie titles into the episode. But I haven't recorded it yet. This is my first time straight ripping it. No research. Let's go. Hope I get all 50. Hope you enjoy. And I hope I can find posters for all 50 movies, whichever 50 I end up saying. So, here we go. Lights, camera, asshole. Little behind the scenes thing. I don't actually, hit play on the theme song. I just leave a gap there so I know where to fit it in. I'm going to stop talking again so I know where the gap is. You're listening to Fix My Carcast, hosted by Bear Claw Billy. This is episode 48. We've got Keith Hebert letting that sink in later. But first, housekeeping. This is the show where you pick what I say and how I say it. Pick a topic or prompt by donating to the GoFundMe and vote on the gimmick by joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Join at the $5 or higher level and also get bonus episodes and behind the scenes footage. Links are in the description. Also down there, merch. Get yourself some merch. You know you need some merch. You know, couldn't help but notice there's a holiday coming up. I don't know what it's called. I don't really know what holidays are, but you know, get some merch. Find some merch. Get some merch for yourself. A gift to yourself. That's right. Selfmas is coming up. No new donors this week, and I feel fine. The total raise for paying off my car repair debt is still holding at $1,131. Also, when we get to $2,000, we unlock an automatic show gimmick, which is I will watch all the Fast and Furious movies back to back. No breaks, and then record my podcast at the end. Fun fact, did you know that this whole podcast disappears when we hit $3,000? Unless a movie studio buys it and reboots it as a 6-part limited series on their streaming service. But that is out of my hands. Are you still digging the new theme song? No? Well, if you make a donation of $50 or more at the GoFundMe, in addition to picking an episode topic, you get to change one thing about the theme song forever. Unless somebody the next week changes it back, I suppose. Anyway, $50, switch it up. No new patrons this week, which is a shame. We're all having a blast over on Patreon. Come on in, try this walnut salad. My wife made it. Please eat some before it becomes a thing. Now it's time for a topic suggestion. Some donors have told me they struggle to think of a topic for me to cover on the show, so each episode I will give a topic suggestion. These are topics I think I could easily talk about for a whole episode, though admittedly, I think the show is more fun when it's something I'm completely clueless about. So, something I could talk about is our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. He's got an above-ground pool and a pretty bitchin' record collection. Throw some money on the plate and I'll tell you all about the guy. Checking in on the best city in the world, based on which city listened to the last episode the most, and we've got an all-way tie. Literally just one listener in every city. Ties are broken by whichever city has listened to the most episodes, which means the best city in the world this week is Biddeford, Maine. Congratulations, Biddeford, Maine. Let it be known that your Skytree, Imperial Palace, and Samurai Museum are the best in the world for 7 days. Last episode, I talked about pigs in Rome while speaking Pig Latin. It was a great idea. If you're not fluent in that particular language, there is a full English transcript available over on Patreon, $5 or more. If you'd like to hear me talk about that documentary about the Disney Channel theme song that's making the rounds on YouTube, you can hear that in a bonus episode over on Patreon. Has nothing to do with the topic that week, but you know, just a thing everybody's talking about. Okay, let's talk next week's gimmick poll. These are your choices for next week's episode gimmick. They are, number 1, fold your laundry. That's the easy one. Number 2, wear lunch meat on your face. Also pretty easy. Number 3, record it in a Walmart. Piece of cake. And number 4, do it like a Twilight Zone episode, which is currently winning. Be sure to vote over on Patreon. The poll closes Thursday, December 8th at noon Eastern America time. All right. Time for today's gimmick. In a unanimous vote, our winner is incorporate 50 movie titles. The other options: play bongos the whole time, drink 5 shots of soy sauce, and do all the segments in reverse order, all go back in the Billy Vault for 6 weeks. Of course, gimmicks don't start until housekeeping is out of the way, just in case any of them prevent me from sharing vital information. But now, we are entering the Gimmick Zone, and I have to make sure I don't accidentally say any movie titles in this chunk. From this point on, gimmicks are active and everything is improvised. Today's prompt comes from our executive producer, Anonymous4, and I've been asked specifically to talk shit about Elon Musk. Oh, lordy, 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 where to begin? Where to begin on Elon Musk? First of all, thank you for a topic that will bring me just so much attention. I'm sure we'll have a lot of new listeners this week. Elon Musk. So, I will confess, when this topic first came in, I was like, oh man, I have to do so much research on Elon Musk before I do this episode. But then I stopped and I thought, and I realized I know so much about Elon Musk that I never wanted to know. I've never found myself at any point in my life searching for any information on Elon Musk. I've never given a shit what this man is up to, ever. But I know so much about him just because there's so much awful about him. Everybody's talking about it all the time. And so that's what kind of hit me. I was like, I'm not going to do any research. Let's just go. And so here we are. You know, I may have some facts wrong here. This episode is going to be sort of a cathartic. This is the purge of everything that I know about Elon Musk just from osmosis. I can't make that one work. I don't want to cheat these. But this is just everything I've absorbed about the jerk. Because like there's just so much that you can say about the guy. I mean, like you can start this. I mean, the whole thing starts with a story about a boy who is like stealing emeralds from his family's mine and then just like taking these uncut gems. Oh man, I like this gimmick. Just taking these uncut gems and selling them. Like he was doing that when he was like 10, and these were like apartheid emeralds. I don't know if I pronounced that correct. I've heard it different ways. But like, so from his I'm thinking of all movies with beginning in the title, damn it. From the start, from his X-Men Wolverine Origins, that was a cheat. He's just been a shitty guy. Like, and there's so many people who think he's, you know, like he's the definition of how to be cool. And no, you are incorrect. He not only, he thinks he's one of the funny people, but he's not. I would also say he's not one of the ordinary people either. But I just feel like he is, I never want to hear anything about him ever again. Like, he truly is the definition of go away, please. Okay. This gimmick is like seamless to a point. There's no going home. There's no going back. Whatever. Can't overthink it. Don't think. Don't think twice, as they say in improv. Thanks, Biggs. So yeah, like there's so much about Elon Musk. Like he has this like weird nerd following. I wish I never heard from him again. I wish he could just go back to being a face in the crowd. But alas, that is not meant to be. This rich asshole. He is. He's got. He thinks he's Iron Man, and all his fanboys think that he's Iron Man too. Which I would say couldn't be further from the truth. But you know, rewatching those flicks, he Iron Man's an asshole, and you know, Elon is too. Yeah, it's hard to talk about this while you're also trying to think of all the movie titles. But that's not good. That's not good improv. To keep talking about how poorly you're doing at the improv. I feel like I'm Nope. I got nothing. Back to the topic. So yeah, I think what was I talking about? Oh, I mentioned that like Elon thinks he's funny, and that's like kind of the weird thing here is like he wants to be a meme lord. He wants people to think he's funny. He is desperate for people to find him funny. He wouldn't recognize a punchline if it chewed his face off. I don't know. Everything about the man, I am just bedazzled by all of his terrible decisions. Let's see. He he inherited his parents' money. Why can't I think of a single movie about being yeah. It's definitely this is maybe cheating, but it's definitely a Richie Rich scenario. Where, you know, he's just playing with his parents' money. And like people think he's like this brilliant strategist. And like, no, he just kind of infiltrates. He just kind of burrows his way into all these companies. And he also fucks with the stock market. He like a lot of I mean, we can't not talk about Twitter. I'm like, people have always kind of despised Elon Musk, but like it's especially popular now because it seems like he's breaking down the social network that they love. You know, I know that movie's about a different one, but yeah, he's breaking it down. You know, this whole thing is for the birds. Literally, in that you get your check marks, because you know you need to be verified because it is very important when nope, can't work that one into a sentence. It's so yeah, like all hell is breaking loose. Though you could argue that Twitter was always from hell. I'm just whatever pops into my noggin. Oh man, it's hard to do two things at once. It would be really helpful to be the man with two brains. So Elon is a clear and present danger to journalism. You know, because being verified on Twitter is an important thing. Like, you know, to know that this is like a trustworthy source. And ever since he came in, for the love of nope. Can't have dead air. Or white noise. Can't have either of those things. So yeah, Elon just, you know, it's his takeover of Twitter is quite simply because like just laugh at him. He just wants to be laughed at. He just wants to feel like he's a big funny man. We're over the halfway point. That's good. Oh, nope. I'm being a stickler about the titles. If there's a "the" in it, I have to use it. Yeah, Elon is, and by the way, he's never invented, anything. People are like, oh, he's a trailblazer in the world of electric cars. But he's not. This is true. I can't remember where I read this. In fairness, probably most of this I'll be cribbing from, like, political shows that I watch on YouTube. So apologies if I'm, taking from their research. But, it can't be... I realized this just now. It can't be avoided. But again, that's kind of the point, which may have been made for TV. I'm not going to count that. But the point that I'm trying to make here is I know so much about this man against my will. I never wanted to know any of this. It's exhausting. Like, and I'm gonna compare him to the American president before this one. Oh, I think that's what it's called. The American president before the current one. He was another figure that I was like, I don't ever want to know anything about this person, and yet I must. Why? Because they've got all the money in the world. And I'm just... I know there's much worse things about being wealthy than simply just, monopolizing everybody's time, but like, it's maybe one of the most exhausting effects of somebody being rich is just they're in the public spotlight. It's just spotlight, right? I'm telling you, sometimes you just you just stumble your way into it sometimes. Wow, I'm actually doing pretty well here. But yeah, like, I was sick of hearing about Trump, and just when it's like, yeah, maybe we don't have to hear from the guy anymore, along comes Musk, who just, is like, we're going to put Trump back on Twitter. And I'm like, wow. I don't care if this one is not seamlessly integrated. This is an Alien versus Predator scenario. Whoever wins, we lose. I don't care who comes out on top. I don't care who comes out on top in that particular in that particular fight. I don't care. I wish both of them would go away forever. And I'm sick of hearing about them. But yeah, so now this motherfucker is running Twitter now. And just like, it's horrible. Like, it's like, there's something like slur usage is up by like 200% or something. I'm sorry, I don't have the number right in front of me, but like, this is clunky. I don't care. It's like, it's really up with hate, and down with love. And honestly, it's no laughing matter. But yeah, this gosh, and I was talking about Elon Musk's innovations with electric vehicles, and it's so cheap to do the TOO, but people, he didn't invent Tesla. He's not the inventor of Tesla. He just worked his way and he took over the company. And my favorite bit of trivia is, how many patents do you think Elon Musk has? I can't remember where I learned this, but it is, it's not less than 0. I can tell you that much. But it's also not the number 23. It is exactly One, which I'm not sure if that's the name of a movie, but let's say he's been issued a patent exactly once. And it's for the plug on the fucking Tesla. Yeah, he made the plug not universal. That's a company. He made the plug not universal so that if you own a Tesla, you can only charge your car at a Tesla charging station. You douche. You fucker. You, I'm going through movies titles that may be insults, and I'm coming up blank check. So yeah, like he everything he does is about him making money. He manipulates the stock market. He like calculatedly will like tweet something that will affect the stock market and just make things go haywire on Wall Street. And if there's one thing I know about Wall Street, money never sleeps. This guy is manipulating the market at all hours of the day and night. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 36, 37, 30, 39. And, you know, you know, he, AMC theaters, if you don't remember that whole thing where he was just tweeting about, like, you know, AMC to the moon. Okay, 10 left. And yeah, it's like he tweets these things just so he can manipulate the stock market. But then that came back to bite him in the ass, because when he did the whole Twitter check, when he did the change up, pretty sure. Look, once I hit 50, I'm just gonna start blasting the rest out. This isn't 50 though. This is 40. This is now 42. This is so stupid. But what episode of this show isn't? The Show Must Go On. There's probably a movie called that, but I don't know enough to tick it off. So yeah, Muskie. What the fucksy. I despise the man. And you know, he'll never hear this because, you know, he's so busy fixing Twitter. And like, I don't know, you see all these tweets. I know nothing about computers. I have a lot of friends who are hackers, but I am not one of them. But like, you know, I've seen people on Twitter talking about the source code. Maybe I'm not using that correctly, but who cares? The source code of Twitter, and like he's making all these tweets about how, like, you know, oh, it's running slow, but that's not his fault. And it's like, yeah, I think it's entirely his fault. I've seen all these theories about like the Twitter purchase. Like, you know, people love to talk about this whole like, oh, it's you know, 9-dimensional chess and you know, there's a plan to all this. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not a smart person. I mean, hey, you want to pit my IQ against Elon Musk? I bet he's probably smarter than me. Like, I'm not about to pretend like, oh, I'm smarter than this guy. But you know, how are we defining smart? Like, I think his little army of baby geniuses you know, they defend everything that he does, but like he is an awful person. Like, you know, the stuff he does creates real world harm. Like right now, like hate speech is on the rise ever since his acquisition of Twitter. He also does all that crypto stuff, which I can't even begin to get into explaining like how crypto works. I don't understand. Don't ask me about it. I can't explain it. I just know that like there's a blockchain, and it causes the annihilation of the rainforest at an alarming rate. So That's bad. If you're here for well researched, I regret to inform you this is an improv podcast, not a news podcast. This is not. I used to work in broadcast news before I got hired at the talent agency. I'm not going to say the name of a certain documentary. But I used to work in news, and so I I know how exhausting it can be, just being like, what did he do now? Like, I worked in news under Trump's reign, and it was a lot of what did he do now? What did he do now? Happy to say I no longer work in news. Of course, it is a fine profession. But it's a fine profession, but one that I'm glad I got out of, because whoo boy, everything is awful. But yeah, Elon Musk. Apologies if I haven't been talking enough shit. I'm going through the IMDb in my brain, trying to crush today's challenge. But we're coming up on the world's end. Oh, whatever. That was chunky, but for me, it's the final countdown, because by my calculation, that means the gimmick is complete. So now we're free to roam about the cabin. Fuck Elon Musk! There! Now that I don't have to do the gimmick, fuck Elon Musk. Not literally, though, because you'll probably have a kid that he'll abandon. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm tired of the man. Like, it's so interesting to me that I could give you the rundown bonus on all of his, evil doing. But, like, I really, really hate to say that the biggest talk shit about Elon Musk I can possibly fathom is I just don't want to hear about the man anymore. I just want him to disappear. Just stop. Just stop, man. Just stop. Like, look at your life. Because there's no defending your life. And just find, just do anything, man. Open a sandwich shop. Seriously. I'm tired of him. I know he'll never go away. I know he needs to be loved. I don't think he's ever known love, actually. And isn't that sad? But what a sad thing to go out on. As always, The Last Starfighter. I truly blanked. Thanks for watching, patrons. Sorry for the beeping of the smoke detector, which still has not been fixed. So tell some friends to join my Patreon, because I'd like to live in a better apartment, and maybe I can do that with some more money coming in. Is that self-centered? Anyway, that may have been my worst improv brain fart for the As Always, I think, ever. Is Always is the name of a movie. Oh, that one counts too. I'm so excited. I got to get started on the edit so I can see how many I actually got in there. This is exciting. All right. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Bye.